fabulous weekend. We've got a lot to get into, so let's roll. Stephen A's off. The Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp's got you covered. Of course, we got the coach, Rex Ryan, and Dan Orlovsky. Guys, let's get into it. ABC. Always be closing like Kansas City. The Chiefs clinched their 9th straight AFC West championship Sunday night. 12-1 Kansas City had yet another too close for comfort finish. Third-string kicker Matthew Wright, a replacement for 2 injured players, made a 31-yard field goal as time ran out to allow the Chiefs to beat the Los Angeles Chargers 19-17. Here's Patrick Mahomes after staying positive after another close win.
It seems like we stall out on drives, on little things, and I've said that kind of all year long, but it is close. I truly believe we are closer than we were this year at this point, and it's just about finding a way to prove it on the football field on Sundays. We'll play every day of the week, it seems like, the next few days, but on game days, and then we can kind of go into the playoffs with some momentum.
That jacket's fresh right there. All right, Shay, coming to you. Will KC's close wins catch up to them? Because it is week in and week out we have the same conversation.
Yeah, guys, it seems like we've had this conversation before with Tom Brady and the Patriots. This is what we know. When you get opportunity to put points on the board against Kansas City, you better do it. Because Josh Herbert missed 2 throws, Dio and Rex. I know you remember those throws where he has walk-in touchdowns if he makes those connections. He does not. And now they get no points out of that. The last thing, it's not so much that how they're winning, is that every time they put Patrick Mahomes in a situation like this, you give him the ball and he doesn't give it back to you until his team has the lead and there's no time on the clock. Now, they've gotten lucky a couple of times. They've blocked the field goal. They've had a field goal miss. But when you put him in these situations like this, third down here, big time catch to Xavier Worthy. Now he's going to scramble out of the pocket, jumps out of the pocket, and look at him, pick him up, put him down, coach. That's what you want from a guy like this. It's not that they keep winning like this. It's that they keep putting him in a situation like this, and he keeps coming through. Look at this, 37, dodges another guy. He finds his favorite target, Travis Kelce. He just somehow, he's the modern-day Tom Brady, because Tom, time and time again, be placed in these situations, and he always came through. Now, boy, they say a cat got 9 lives. They got 12 because they must be 2 cats, because they seem like every game they've won on the last second and it's something like this. Block a field goal, doink off the upright, the guy hooks it, whatever the case may be. But will it catch up with them? You're going to have to put them in a situation, because this is what we know about Tom, and Patrick has the same trait. If he needs a field goal to beat you, he's going to get his team in position to do that. If he needs a touchdown to beat you, he's going to put his team in to do that. This was a total team effort, coach, because what they needed the defense to do last night was keep the Chargers out of the end zone, and so a field goal would beat them. Now, do I believe if Patrick Mahomes needed a touchdown, he would have went and got it? Absolutely, because we saw him down at the 8-yard line, and they didn't, and the Chargers weren't going to get the ball back. Will it catch up with them? Only if you have an offense that when they make a mistake like they made last night, you make them pay the ultimate price. But right now, no team really other than Buffalo has make them pay for mistakes that they made on defense.
You know, I've been sitting back, and for 5 straight weeks, I've been critical of this football team, and I'm like, man, there's no way they're not knocking anybody out, because they don't. And here's the thing that I look at. It's why I think they're vulnerable. And they're vulnerable to any team. And I've said that before, almost any team. Because teams you think they're going to blow out, they don't. And here's why. No. They are the least explosive offense in the National Football League. That's a crazy stat. You have one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, and you don't have any explosives on offense.
Sure.
Now, part of that is, and Dano, you and I talked about, that's because they don't protect the quarterback. And so to me, you're still not protecting the quarterback and all that. And Shannon, I've had to stop a lot of teams as a coordinator, head coach, whatever. I'd sign up any day of the week to play against Kansas City right now. Okay, I would. But in the last 2 minutes, oh, hell no, I don't want to sign up to play that guy. No chance. And you're right. If they needed a touchdown, Shannon, they would have gone right down the field and scored a touchdown. Because that is who Patrick Mahomes is. I don't think you can keep it within a 1-score game. I think you got to be up 10 points or so like that against them. So are there teams capable of doing it? They certainly are. I think Baltimore's capable. I think the way Pittsburgh's playing, they're starting to be capable, and I definitely think Buffalo's capable. So we'll see at the end of the day. But this dude, when he gets the ball, you're right. Like, I've been on sidelines, and there goes Tom Brady. Oh, my goodness. And we all know I called timeout and all that jazz. But it's like their whole football team knows that, hey, we got Patrick Mahomes. We're going to win this game. And there's something to that. And you got a great football coach. Here's the bad thing for the whole AFC. All right? Andy Reid is almost impossible to beat when he comes off a bye week. Well, the fact they got the number 1 seed and they get a bye, you know they're getting ready to go into a championship. Win that one, and now they're already in the championship game again. So I don't know, but I think they are more vulnerable this year than they've ever been.
Dan?
I don't believe it catches up to them. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet it on it catching up to them. I think yesterday we saw why this team can't three-peat and why this team will three-peat at the same time. If the Chiefs lose, and I don't think they're going to when it matters the most in the playoffs, win or go home, because more than likely you're going to have to do it in Arrowhead. If they lose, we're all going to come on the next day and we're going to say, well, they couldn't protect him when it mattered the most. Or no one got open versus man coverage, or they kicked too many field goals. They couldn't go score in the red zone. The defense got gashed with some of the internal run game, and they couldn't cover. I will foreshadow for everybody at home, if they lose in the playoffs, that will be the singular reason why. If they win in the playoffs, and again, I am going to, so everybody knows, I will be rooting for Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. I am unbiased about it. I want to see that team, that organization, that fan base, that quarterback get there. I'm not going to pick against Patrick at home, okay? If they get there, it is going to be because of, in many ways, what we saw yesterday. You got to stop the unstoppable. When it comes down to it, you got to go stop the quarterback who you can't. And you got to go stop the tight end who you can't. I know that they're not explosive, all that stuff. When it's win or go home, you're not going to do it against that team at home.
Hey there, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's talk about what's shaping up to be an intense showdown between our Kansas City Chiefs and the Cleveland Browns. Now, if you've been keeping up with the updates, you know Coach Andy Reid's comments didn't exactly clear things up either. Humphries was listed as doubtful, then downgraded to out. And with him missing the entire week of practice, it's no surprise, but it still leaves a gap we need to fill fast. Losing a key player like that? It shakes things up. Let's keep this momentum going and talk about some of the other moves the Chiefs have made to prepare for this game. Stay tuned! Now that we've covered the changes on the offensive line, let's shift gears a bit and talk about another key move. Harrison Butker is back, baby. After being on injured reserve, Butker is finally cleared to return, and this is huge for the Chiefs. We all know how important it is to have a reliable kicker, especially in a game where every point counts. Butker has been a steady presence for the team, and having him back on Sunday is going to make a world of difference. But that's not all. The Chiefs also made a few other moves to boost the roster. Linebacker Swayze Bozeman and tight end Anthony Firkser have both been elevated from the practice squad. Bozeman's depth in special teams could be key, and Firkser could add some much-needed depth to the tight end position, especially with the tight end room still dealing with injuries. Now, it's time for another poll. How do you feel about Butker's return? Do you think he'll be the game changer we need? And with Bozeman and Firkser getting elevated, which player do you think will have the biggest impact? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm eager to hear your predictions. Before we dive into the next part of the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update on all things Chiefs. Alright, let's talk strategy. With all these roster moves, it's clear that the Chiefs are facing a few challenges heading into Sunday's game. The absence of DJ Humphries at left tackle is a big one, but the Chiefs have always been adaptable, and it's no different now. The question is, how will this impact the game plan against the Browns? Cleveland has a solid defense, and they'll likely look to take advantage of any weaknesses on the offensive line. With the potential shuffle at left tackle, our offensive line is going to have to work even harder to keep Mahomes upright and give him the time he needs to make those big plays. We've seen Mahomes do incredible things under pressure, but he can't do it alone. Now, I'm curious, Do you think the Chiefs' offense will overcome these challenges? Or will Cleveland's defense prove to be too much? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. To wrap things up, the Chiefs have made some big moves as they gear up for their matchup against the Browns. DJ Humphries is out, which creates uncertainty on the offensive line, but with players like Wanya Morris, Joe Thuney, and Mike Caliendo stepping up, there's still hope. Add in Butker's return and some fresh faces on special teams, and it's clear the Chiefs are doing everything they can to get ready for this critical game. Now, before we close, I want to hear from you. What's your prediction for the game? Who do you think will be the difference maker? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's hit our goal of 2,000 subscribers together.